episode 553 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Tonight I will be talking all about WWE NXT Vengeance Day Premium Live event, which we saw the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Classic Tag Team Tournament, a no DQ match, the NXT Women's Championship on the line, where we saw a cash-in, the North American Championship on the line, and the main event, the NXT Championship on the line, and a betrayal. All that right here, right now, 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hello, Wrestling Fanatics. Welcome to 360 Wrestling Fanatic episode 553. Sorry about that. On this Sunday night and tonight, talking about the WWE NXT Vengeance Day Premium Live event, which was on Peacock and the WWE Network. And let's get right into it. NXT Vengeance Day was live from Clarksville, Tennessee at the F&M Bank Arena. Our commentators tonight, Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett, filling in for Booker T, who will be taking some time off for, I believe it said, a medical procedure. I want to say on the broadcast tonight that Vic Joseph said one night only for Wade Barrett returning, so I'm not sure just yet who will be filling in for Booker T this Tuesday night on NXT. And our opening match of Vengeance Day 2024 is the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Classic Tag Team Tournament. First, we have Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. And by the way, Trick Williams will also be competing later in the night for the NXT Championship, taking on Eli Dragunov. And their opponents, Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, the newly formed tag team, which is now Vic Joseph called them the Wolf Dogs. And I have to admit, well, first though, Corbin and Braun Breaker both came out on motorcycles for their entrance. And I have to admit, this was a better match than I expected it to be. It was actually, in my opinion anyway, a pretty good opener here. A lot of exciting action, and all four of these guys looked very impressive in this match. But it is the finish sees Carmelo Hayes taking a spear from Braun Breaker, and Breaker getting the pin for his team. So the winners of the Dusty Rhodes Classic, Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, at 14 minutes 27 seconds. Like I said, good match, better than I expected it to be. And as far as Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin as a tag team, I think it could work. I may be kind of 50-50 right now. I'm not fully sold on the idea of them as a tag team, but I'm not really that negative on the idea of it either. So who knows, it could possibly work and they could actually make a good tag team. And next up is our no disqualification match. Dijak taking on Joe Gacy. This one, I thought it was alright. I wouldn't say anything real great, but definitely not a bad match though. It was just kind of alright. Of course, they used weapons, and Dijak got the win, 11 minutes, 56 seconds. Next up, the family takes on OTM in a 6-person mixed tag team match. This one, it was there. I wouldn't say it was a bad match, but wouldn't really say it was that good of a match either. The family gets the win at 10 minutes, 11 seconds. Next up, the NXT Women's Championship is on the line. Lyra Valkyria defending against the former champion who never actually lost the title, Roxanne Perez. These two having a pretty good match at first, and then Lola Vice comes out and cashes in the title shot that she earned from winning the women's breakout tournament, and it turns into a triple threat. But Lyra Valkyria is able to overcome and retain the NXT Women's Championship here, winning this one at 13 minutes, 30 seconds. Not a bad match. I thought it was maybe a little better when it was just a singles match and then had the cash in. And at first I expected when Lola Vice cashed in that they were going to put the title on her, but Valkyria ended up retaining. And I have to admit though, I'd say my pick for this one would probably have been Roxanne Perez. I've been a fan of hers for a while, back when she was Roxy in Ring of Honor. And this one was 12 minutes, 30 seconds. I have bad memory, so I'm not sure if I mentioned that yet or not. And Oba Femi defeats Dragon Lee for the NXT to retain the NXT North American Championship, 10 minutes, 56 seconds. This one was another one that was just kind of okay. Not a bad match, not a real good match. It was just okay. And I don't mean just okay in a bad way either, but just kind of maybe in the middle somewhere. 10 minutes, 56 seconds. And the main event of NXT Vengeance Day 2024 for the NXT Championship is the champion Ilya Dragunov defending against Trick Williams. Earlier in the night, we saw Williams and Hayes in the back, and at first, Hayes just kind of assumes that Trick Williams is going to want to go out there on his own, and Williams tells him that he wants his brother in his corner. So Carmelo Hayes is in Trick Williams' corner for this match, and pretty good main event here, and good match. And Ilya Dragunov defeats Trick Williams at 17 minutes, 58 seconds to retain the NXT Championship. And after the match, Carmelo Hayes is in the ring with Trick Williams and get the kind of the copyright thing at the bottom of the screen. But by now, I'm sure most fans expect this. Triple H likes to do this a lot. And I know it's been talked about online. A lot of people have been expecting it. Especially when the way it was ending, the copyright thing came up. But they stayed on a little bit. And then it happened. Carmelo Hayes turning on his friend and his tag team partner, Trick Williams. I like the end of this. This good way to set up a feud, and then between Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, and then maybe eventually leading to a main roster call-up for either Carmelo Hayes by himself, or maybe both Carmelo and Trick can get called up to the main roster. But we will just have to wait and see. So that was WWE NXT Vengeance Day. And overall, I would say it was a pretty good show. Did have some good wrestling on it, don't get me wrong. And like I said, a few of the matches I just thought were kind of okay. Some were pretty good, and my pick for, I'd say maybe 2 matches of the night, I did like the opener, the Dusty Rhodes Classic Finals, Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. And then the main event, Ilya Dragunov and Trick Williams. And it's kind of funny though, the 2 that were partners in the first match, and then one ended up turning on the other at the end of the main event. Overall, I'll give Vengeance Day 8 out of 10 ring bells. Like I said, it was a pretty good show. The opening match and the main event I thought were really good. And the women's title match I also thought was actually pretty good as well. And the no DQ match was just kind of alright. And the 6-person tag and Femi and Dragon Lee were just kind of there. But overall, I would actually recommend it in case you did miss Vengeance Day. You could check it, especially if you have Peacock, or if you're outside the United States on the WWE Network. I would say it's definitely worth checking out. And before I wrap up, this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, some very sad news to report. And I hope I don't say the name too bad, but Ashley from Stardom has passed away, only 20 years old, in an accident on February 1st. And they have canceled their show for February 9th. Very young. She actually started wrestling only 14 years old for Ice Ribbon at Cork and Hall. And her first match was against former All Japan Women's Champion Manami Toyota. Very sad news. Very, very young. Only 21 years old. So, rest in peace. Unfortunately, just sad news for pro wrestling. And speaking of NXT, Battleground has been announced for May 26th, and Roadblock will be TV special, actually, March 5th. And then they also aired a commercial for Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend, which I want to say is going to be starting at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, I believe. Also, next Saturday on Collision, Tomohiro Ishii will be challenging Orange Cassidy for the AEW International Championship. And on tomorrow's Raw, we're going to see Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura in a bull rope match. That should be pretty interesting to see. And that is all for this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Hope everyone enjoyed Vengeance Day. Go in the comment section and leave your thoughts and opinions on tonight's Vengeance Day. Let me know what you thought of the show. And one more thing you can leave in the comment section. I want to know your thoughts on the whole situation. What people are starting online. We want Cody with The Rock facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania instead of the American Nightmare. What do you think, though? Are you on Team Cody or are you on Team Rock? Let me know in the comment section, either right here on Spreaker, YouTube, or wherever you listen to 360 Wrestling Podcast at. Hopefully, 360 Wrestling Fanatic will be back tomorrow night to talk all about tomorrow night's Monday Night Raw with that bull rope match between Rhodes and Nakamura. But I will be back first tomorrow morning for the Monday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone has a great night. And I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.